back. On US-Iran talks, a US official has said that progress was made, but there are still a lot of details to discuss. The Iranians said that they would come back in the next 2 weeks with a detailed proposal to address some of the open gaps in our position. So that's the latest we're getting in as far as the US and Iran talks are concerned, and that's the first reaction that's coming in from the United States side. They've said that progress was made, but there are still a lot of details to discuss. The Iranians said that they would come back in the next 2 weeks with a detailed proposal to address some of the gaps in the position. That's information that has been given from the US side after those crucial talks, remember, that took place between US and Iran yesterday, that ended in a breakthrough. Progress is what the US side is saying. It remains to be seen what Iran has to say on this. But US is saying that there was a lot of progress, but there are still a lot of details to discuss. And now the Iranians would come back. And this comes at a time when, in fact, there is heightened tensions between the two countries. For more on this, let me go across to my colleague Rishabh, who's been tracking all the details. Rishabh, take us through the focus as far as US-Iran talks are concerned, because now the US side is saying that progress was made, but there's still a lot of details to discuss as far as US and Iran are concerned.
Well, Akansha, good morning. Definitely, there are progress that are being made in US-Iran talks. This first round of talks happened in Oman. The second round is taking place in Paris, is what we're given to understand. And our talks between and Iran happening in Paris. There is another talk that is taking place between Iran and UN, where the Iranian Foreign Minister Karachi has met the UN, nuclear control officers, and there are multi-layered talks going on. While US and Iran both say that talks are going in positive direction, there are a lot of things. When it comes to Iran and US, there are a number of things that both wants to be on the table, and there are certain things that the US doesn't want to discuss. There are certain things that Iran doesn't want to discuss. So all these complications are there in this talk, and that's the reason that both the sides say that while the progress have been made, there are a lot that needs to be taken care of.
Expected that in the coming days, the third round of talk will take place between US and Iran, Rishabh?
Well, definitely. See, in the next 2 weeks, what we're given to understand that both the sides will meet again, but where they'll meet, how they'll meet is something that the clarity will come in another week or time or so, because both the sides, now the conclusion of the second round has happened. Both the sides would go back to their respective capitals, apprise their political leaders about what the talks were about and how talks are progressing, and depending on the political, leadership and their call on further discussions, further talks will take place.
All eyes will be on the next round of talk. Stay on with us, Rishabh.